Hi, friends.
Hi.
How's it going?
So good. How are you?
Good. We haven't even been able to talk. I was off yesterday, and things are just happening. It's crazy. I'm loving this whole ensemble.
It's very like what one of the royals would wear, or something,
royals,
like Kate Middleton,
or
something,
or one of the Kennedys, or just very first lady.
with the collar, right?
Yes. Like,
I feel like I need like one of those like hat things, you know?
Oh yes, one of those berets.
Just be so elegant.
Oh, I love it. I was having trouble getting into this dress.
Really?
Well,
it's stretchy.
It is. It's great. It's because it has this like inside there's the underpiece, so it has to go in like perfectly, and so my arms weren't going through. Anyway,
oh no.
Got it on, because usually I come in, which I did a TikTok about this, like all the things I do before coming here, like as a mom, and a lot of comments were, it's so real that you are in comfy clothes until you have to be on, which is totally us. Like I have my tennis shoes on a lot of times.
I'll have mine on.
Caroline has them on
today, but
like,
yes.
You know, we just
the hassle with this dress is it's hard for me to put my arms up. So like doing my hair and makeup in this, I was like, I should have just changed when I got here.
Right.
Just because it's like hard to move in, and I have things I need to be doing.
We need to just evolve in storytelling in terms of the presentation. Like we should be able to wear athleisure, I think. And
and we do whenever we go out on stories, if it's appropriate to wear like athletic clothes or whatever, it's best to dress for what you're going out to cover. Okay, so if you're gonna go out and you're gonna cover, if you're gonna be on the field of an Astros game or a Texans game, you are not wearing these kind of heels. That would, first of all, just be ridiculous, and you can't do the job in it.
Some reporters do wear those heels, like for the Astros. It looks
so dumb.
It's okay. So I didn't know any better, and it was my first time covering the Astros, like on the field, and so I wore heels, and then my heels would keep digging in, whatever it's called.
Oh my gosh!
And that stuff doesn't come off.
You either have to have a chunky heel, like a cowgirl boot type of heel, or you just have to wear tennis shoes. I always look at I like Erin Andrews a lot.
Yes, me too.
She works for Fox.
Yes.
And so I'm always looking at what she has on the football field for ideas and inspiration when having to be on a surface that's not like a studio floor.
Right, right.
But I know when you went out and you did like that one boxing story, you were full on in boxing attire.
Well, I mean, just comfy attire. It was hot.
Yeah.
And
when I cover anything golf, like I'll do something golf, like a golf outfit, which would be tennis shoes, because how can I be walking on a golf course in heels, you know?
Exactly.
So it is, but for whatever reason, still, if you're an anchor in the studio, you have to dress like this, I guess.
But for guys, they can still wear tennis shoes. I mean, JD wears tennis shoes, Tom wears tennis shoes, Tom Ziska.
I mean, I don't think it would be like, I think if we styled it appropriately, if we had like a pantsuit on with a tennis shoe, I don't think we'd get like yelled at or anything, but it has to look professional and appropriate.
Yes.
And if it looked like not professional,
like I couldn't go on air like this. Like it'd be like, you need to put your shoes on.
Well, because that's like, but okay, if you had on, if like for whatever reason, like you needed to wear a flat shoe, if you had on like one of those loafer type shoes, that looks cool, you know.
About tennis shoes. See, they like literally come in, and not hating on them, I'm just jealous. That's all.
Yeah, you know? I'm pretty tall, so I wonder if anyone would even notice if I had on some like black tennis shoes with my dress.
Not if you're next to me, because we'd probably be a little bit more comparable in height.
So many people, like when they see us in videos together, they're like, "Whoa, Caroline, how tall are you?"
Yes, and
or they'll be like, "How short is Rashi?"
What is this height difference? I'm pretty short. Yes,
so funny.
It's.
But you're not. You are a petite person, but I'm not. I don't look at you and I'm like, I don't think to myself like, "Oh, she's." Really short. Like,
right. But it's just you and Anthony are tall.
Yeah.
And so
I think that's what it is. Anthony and I are tall.
Yeah.
And you're petite.
Yeah.
I don't think of you as a short person, because there are some people, like my one good friend from college, Rylan, I was just texting her, like legitimately she is so short.
Really?
She like comes up to maybe my waist.
Oh my gosh.
We were on the golf team together, but she could hit it pretty far. She was good.
Wow.
But her little legs, like walking, you know, my steps were like 10 times bigger than hers.
Hey, that's fun size. That's what I call it, the fun size.
I mean, she like jokes about it all the time. She's it's a good talking point like with her when we're out too, because like people are always like, "You're so tiny."
Well, let's talk about, what we're wearing on air, but also what are the teams wearing for Super Bowl?
Ooh.
Well, the jerseys for Super Bowl 59 are set, folks.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs will be wearing white, while the Philadelphia Eagles will wear green. Super Bowl every Super Bowl in history has featured one team wearing white and then the other team wearing a jersey of a different color.
Okay.
So the teams wearing white have won 37 Super Bowls. That's compared to 21 wins for the teams that don't do that.
Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, that statistic isn't very far off. Super Bowl 59 is next Sunday, February 9th. And guess what, folks? You can watch it right here on Fox 26, and you can also stream it on Tubi.
And we'll be working.
And we are so excited.
Yeah, we will be here on Fox 26. So if you watch the Super Bowl, then you watch whatever programming we have on after, which is usually one of our hit shows here on Fox. Then we'll come on. So,
yes. So we actually had the idea of doing we had talked about this way ahead of time before it was mentioned to us about 2 specials we would be doing before a Caroline-Rashi special of Super Bowl, right?
So that's this week, huh?
No, that's next week.
Oh, next week. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh, we haven't even started on that.
No. So I thought one would be great with the advertisers and the advertisements, because we always want to know about that. And it's just bizarre how much they pay for a 30-second spot, right? The other thing is just the food. I think that's huge. And I know you made this buffalo dip.
Yes, that's
going to show that.
My mom's actually, a lot of people, I posted it on my social media, okay? It was my weekend content, so I don't
my weekend content.
Yeah, I don't cook a whole lot.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, ish.
Okay.
My boyfriend's more of the cook, but so when I cook, I like to film what I'm cooking because it doesn't happen all that much.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I loved this dip so much growing up, and then I made it in a healthier version. It's buffalo chicken dip. It's on my Instagram. That will be made, and actually several people, close friends of mine and family members, have all said, we're gonna make that. What a great switch to make it not as calorie dense and just healthier. And I used it as a meal prep. I ate it 2 days even after with I put it on salad with some veggies, buffalo chicken dip, and then I ate it with veggies. And it was great because the only bad thing in there was the cheese, which I don't.
That wasn't even that bad.
No, it was 3 cups of it, and it made a huge batch. So it's not. It has to be high protein and not very calorie dense.
I think you can get onto any of those apps that are free and just put the ingredients in, and it'll show you that. But what's great is that you filmed it so well, you do.
Really?
Yes, because normally you're just grabbing one thing and then trying to put it all and just.
Well, it's funny because some of the comments were I can tell you don't do this much. I'm like, no, I literally don't.
Okay,
do that
whatever.
Much. So
don't
that's
hate.
Why.
I mean, what do you mean you don't do this much?
I know. I'm but that's why it's relatable because. First of all, I usually don't cook my own chicken. I buy a rotisserie chicken. I was in Costco. Of course I bought the rotisserie chicken. We don't need to be cooking the chicken, even though it's pretty easy to cook chicken in the crock pot when you want to shred it. But my stuff is easy.
But can we just talk about rotisserie chicken just for a second? Because buying chicken and then cooking it is more expensive than just buying a rotisserie chicken.
I'm pretty sure the price of the rotisserie chicken at Costco was somewhere around $4.
It's so cheap.
And they're huge and they're so good.
But I don't understand.
Can we normalize just getting a rotisserie chicken and just eating it?
It's normal.
I do it as a snack, as a meal.
No, as a meal.
Whatever.
You grab a leg, you grab a thigh.
Yes, you just oh my gosh, it's so good. Eat a little bit of the skin here and
I do that a lot.
Too. I wish that more people would normalize that as
Who doesn't? Who's saying something about it?
My mom's like, what do you want me to get you guys for a snack when we were in Florida? And I go, just grab a rotisserie chicken. She's like, what?
Okay, well, maybe she was thinking more apples or fruit, and you're I want a whole chicken.
Well, we ended up at chips and salsa and charcuterie, but I was like, the chicken is good protein.
Yes, I can see how that's just not a snack to grab so I understand that.
But I want to make it that way because why not?
Yeah, I think, but I still don't understand why they're so cheap. Well, I mean, everything is expensive, but then the rotisserie chicken's $8.
Yeah, I don't get it. I
And
love
it's
how
cooked and it's great
and and it rotates.
Lemon pepper. There's all kinds of great. And it's so tender. Like that is.
Good. I don't even. Some people might say you don't know what's in there, but I don't care.
It's a whole chicken.
I do not care. It's just a chicken to me, and it is so satisfying. But also, when we do our special next week on Super Bowl, I'm very excited to talk about the ads because I feel like if I was creating an ad for Super Bowl, top of mind now versus top of mind like back when the Super Bowl, started, even like 15 years ago, like I would just be like, what's gonna go viral? Like, what is everybody gonna talk about after this airs? You know what I'm saying? So like, how do I
have a great idea for you. I think it'd be so good. Like, you know how you do those get ready with things? So then this could be like, obviously do this on a Saturday night or something, but like after 3 shots, you get ready with you.
Oh God, I love that. That's what I'm like. Are you gonna tell me to like dissect different ads? Like, what are we? No, take 3. No, if I had take 3 shots, I would be sleeping on the floor.
It'd be like, oh yeah, that would.
I just saw a video of somebody like in a group taking a shot, and she had the worst facial expression, and she was like, she just hated it so bad, and I was like, that is me. Like, I hate taking shots.
Me too.
They're disgusting. And what's the point? You can just put it in a nice cocktail and sip slowly.
But it like gets to your veins faster.
It does, but I don't need that anymore. Like one drink gets to my veins fast.
Yes. I mean, sometimes when you're just kind of like in a hurry and you have to take the kids to school, I'm kidding. I don't do that.
Rashi,
I don't do that.
You're going to get us canceled.
No,
we'll be right back.
Welcome back. I know that, well, I travel, but did I tell you that we booked our tickets for spring break to go to Arizona?
Yay! I wasn't sure. With the whole fam?
Yes.
Good.
So that's going to be exciting. We're talking about traveling, and I know homegirl travels a lot, which is awesome, and she has a bunch of trips planned.
I love that people say this, and I guess I do, but I don't even like.
I think more than the average person, which is great. I think like whenever you get married and have kids, it's gonna first of all slow down a little bit, but God willing, it will speed up later.
I mean, just thinking about my last year though, like I guess I do. London, Paris, south of France, Mexico twice, California, Pennsylvania.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Disney World, Disneyland.
Yes, that's.
So like, I guess I do when I think about it like that.
And then you came. We don't have to say where, but you came to my house too, which is.
It's a drive.
It's a drive.
But it's so worth it. I'll do it anytime.
So this would be great, especially because y'all. So my whole family's from India. And I used to go to India every single year.
Which is so cool.
Yes.
And she interned in London.
Yeah.
I always say that.
And she interned in London.
I'm just like, that's so cool.
But I had family in India, and so we would go for 3 months in our 3-month summer break. Okay, so I got super sick. Like, I was going to go blind in one eye. It was really bad. This was 20 plus years ago when I was in junior high, and I haven't been back since. But if we had something like this, I would go. First of all, it's like a 21-hour flight.
Did you not go back because of that, do you think?
Well, it was just, I mean, it was in junior high, and then you start getting busy with classes, and then I don't even know what else. But then college happens and all of that.
Traumatic,
you don't want to go for very traumatic. You don't want to go for like 2 weeks. Like you go to India, you're gonna go for at least a month.
Really?
Well, because you're going there with it's a long flight, and then you have family there, so you only go there for a little bit. So you want to do all the things and. They are actually, so right now it is 3:47 p.m. Central Time. Right now it is about 2:30 a.m. there.
Oh, okay.
So it takes like 3-4 days to just
adjust.
Yes, and the thing. Okay, so there's this historic test flight that happened. A civilian jet broke the sound barrier over the Mojave Desert. So now aviation startup Boom Supersonic is one step closer to supersonic commercial travel.
Wow.
Boom hopes to fly 60 to 80 passengers from New York to London in just 3 hours and 45 minutes, which is half the time it normally takes. These shorter flights won't be in service until 2029. But I can see this being the future.
That's insane.
Right?
And amazing. Look, Sydney to Los Angeles, 8 hours and 30 minutes. Like, that's wow. Because I could so see myself like going to LA, seeing my sister, whatever, and then going to Sydney. But I don't want to do that now. Because it's so freaking long to get there. I don't want to sit on a plane that long.
No, I can't even sit on a plane. It's just so bad. And
we only have limited time off.
Right. But if we first of all, why hasn't this already happened?
Yeah.
The plane goes fast, but couldn't it go faster?
I agree.
When I see the little plane thing moving.
Breaking the sound barrier, like
that's
crazy. That's so crazy.
But then I was looking at the comments, some were like, I don't want to go on a plane that's going so fast. Hold up. When you go in the underground train or railway, or, you know, you probably went on the underwater.
The Eurostar, oh yes, from France to, but where did I go? London, yeah. It was great. I was like nervous about it, but you don't even know you're under there.
No, and trains.
And you don't even know it's going super fast.
A bullet train, all those things, like.
And then you look at a map and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm under the ocean.
I know. First of all, I did that also. I went from London to Paris.
Yeah.
And how do you engineer that? How do you make
I don't know. And I feel like the less I know, the better, because I don't want to start thinking about it.
But it's just
crazy.
Mind-blowing.
It is. And then, I mean, there's, you know, in New York City and other cities, the subways, that's all underground. That's all under the city.
Yes, but I'm talking about in the water.
I know, in the ocean.
Water pressure. How do you get the...
I'm pretty sure there's tunnels in New York that... You interned in New York too.
Yeah.
That go underwater or through mountains. That through mountains is crazy too.
Part of, not in Manhattan where I was, but other parts of New York, I'm sure they have all that. But so that's still...
Pennsylvania, because there's so many mountains, and then, you know, obviously like New Jersey and New York, there's tons of tunnels that you drive through that are literally straight through a mountain. I'm like, how do you even dig through there? Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow.
I know. When you start thinking about it, it freaks me out. That's why I just try to not think about it.
But, okay, going back to this story, imagine like 50 years from now, like telling our grandkids or whatever, like, we used to go on the airplane and it used to take us. Like,
yeah, it took, 6 hours to get from Houston to
whatever, because it would only go like this.
Yeah.
And now they're like the Supersonic.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now I'm like, shoot. I'm like very torn on planning a trip because I don't know like what's gonna happen soon.
What do you mean?
Like if I get engaged, like you know, I'm gonna have to like plan a wedding. So am I gonna be able to do all my traveling?
Why not?
Well, you know, someone has to pay for
No,
a wedding.
I understand, but I mean, like that doesn't mean that there's a halt on anything.
I know, it just
right?
like feels like a lot.
I'm not gonna. We'll have a whole episode on that when that happens.
Okay,
several episodes.
Because I have been really, really wanting to visit Greece.
As you should.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
maybe I'll just obsessively look for flight deals. Maybe I'll check Costco, and if I find something cheap.
Costco, what?
Yeah, you can book really great trips through Costco. They sell them. You guys should utilize it.
I have a Costco membership and I haven't.
Yeah.
No, you get on me all the time.
I know. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna start looking because that would be a good money saving.
Really?
Yes. So my boyfriend's sister and his mom, they're going on a cruise with their friends. It's like a Mediterranean European cruise, and they got it for like literally nothing. Like the price they paid for this was so cheap.
Really?
And it's a really nice cruise, and it stopped that they end up in Greece, and they're going all kind. They're like, you guys should come, and I'm like, well, for that price, we should.
Yeah.
But Connor like doesn't want to cruise or whatever. So.
All right.
Anyway, we'll be right back.
Okay, friends, we like to think about uplifting things. So anytime, Caroline doesn't know about the story. Oh, is this a little wobbly?
It is. I know. I don't know what's going on there.
So I see these stories and I'm like, okay, guys, and I'm sure you do too. And I wanted to bring it up because you do not need to let this bring you down. We apparently got a second closer to the apocalyptic event. The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists have moved the minute hand on their clock to 89 seconds to midnight, the closest it's ever been for the past 2 years. It stayed the same at 90 seconds to midnight. Now, this move is highlighting what they perceive to be heightened dangers and an increased chance of a global disaster.
Oh gosh, don't tell me that.
So, how many times have we heard this, by the way?
I mean, there's always, remember going from 1999
to 2000. Did I tell you what I did during that time?
No.
Okay, so my friends, like that we grew up with, we'd always go to their house for New Year's Eve. And that year I decided I would like isolate myself, and I was in the bathroom where they had a window, and I just looked out the window to see what would happen. Like I was like 5
no.
by myself. Yeah. And I was just like, and nothing happened.
No.
So I just came out of the bathroom and I was like, happy New Year, guys.
Would explode. My dad's like, go check the computer.
Yeah.
And I remember I was so little, everyone was like, "Oh, it just says 2000." Like,
it's everything's fine. But even like, there's people in my family who are into certain things, and priests and stuff, and they're like, by this day, this is going to happen, and by this month, this is going to happen. And it's just like, first of all, nobody really knows what's going to happen.
No, I agree. And like, why worry about something that hasn't happened yet? You know?
And
we're pros at doing that because we worry about stuff all the time that hasn't happened. But
yes, we are just not. I mean, we are preaching to ourselves as well.
But when it comes to these like big global events and correlations I know that you can make correlations with the Bible, what's happening now, and all that stuff. But I just choose to. You know, I am a God-fearing woman, and I know that, you know, he will come again, but I can't control that.
No.
So I'm just going to be happy.
Yes.
And just not worry about it.
Be happy and just let it go. Let them
and
let
there's,
it go.
You know, I've seen comments on people like being like, you know, I'm not going to rodeo anymore. I'm not going to be going to these big sports. I'm like, I will never not go to these things that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. Just because, like, you see things.
Or you hear things.
You know. I'm like, no.
And when I've gone back to said family members, like, hey, you said this would happen by this time. That didn't. And this happened. And it's just like, well, it's going to happen. This is the time period where the moon is doing something here. And
you know what else is going to happen?
What?
We're going to get cut off. So that's all we have time for.
Bye, friends.